Hey everybody, welcome into Rock Painting 101, where we give you fun, new rock painting ideas that anybody can create. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you do, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Let's get painting. I have my special guest with me who has to stay home from school this week, so she is joining me on her lunch break. Say hi, V.
Hi.
All right, so today we're going to be working on some faux watercolor base coats for your rock, and we have a couple of them that are dried and finished. This technique does create a wet look, so it does take some time for these to dry. So I'm using acrylic paints here on the left, and this is my dried stone.
And we're using paint pens on the white.
Yep, so hold it up a little higher so they can see. Got the 3 different colors on there, and it just gives it a lot of different styles and looks. You can keep it up here at the top of the screen so we can see. We're working on washcloths just to catch some of the water. You don't want the big one. And we each have our own set of brushes, one brush for each color.
We have the same colors, yellow, pink, and blue.
And
We
yes.
have 3 brushes for each one.
One for each color. And I also have the same style of colors in acrylic paint. So
And she has some toothpicks here, which I have no idea why those are.
well, they're gonna find out. All right, so I did all 3 colors on this example as well as the one over here. We're just gonna do 2-toned rocks for today's video because it is a little bit easier to work with. Once you kind of play around with the technique, you can move on to using multiple colors. The main thing you want to think about when choosing your colors is when they blend together, will it be pretty? Like these two will make a pretty purple.
And these two make a pretty orangish color.
That's right. And what do you think the teal and pink would make?
Purple.
Oh, I already said that. What about the teal and yellow? Kind of a green color. So maybe we start with that. Should we do those first?
Yes, let's do these.
All right, so we're going to work the same colors at the same time. So again, I'm using acrylic paint. V over here has some painted pens. Sorry. So I've got toothpicks here because I don't want to get a bunch of paint on my paintbrush. It doesn't take a lot.
And you can we tried doing dots and that didn't work as well. So just go like on the line on the outside.
Okay, and I'm doing just a little blob of paint. And there actually is a blob in my paint. I'll get out of there. But see, by using my toothpicks, I don't like to waste my paint.
You mean purple thing?
And then we're going to do our second color on the opposite side.
This way. So it's easier for me to do this side.
Okay. And you can always come back and add more paint, right?
Yes, always.
Okay, so you can start with a little less. And then I've just got water here in the back. We each have our own little water cup here.
Was it smaller than mine?
Okay, my water's a little dirty, so I might actually use yours. So you just go right into your water, get water on your brush, and put it on top of your color. You want to do yellow first with me? In case the water gets a little yellow. So we're just adding water right on top of our paint color.
Right on top.
Kind of wiggle it on there just to get that paint mixed into it. Just like that. And it's okay if it goes over your edges a little bit too.
Yes.
And then work it towards your center. Just like that. Very good. Maybe a little more water to get it to the middle. You're pretty close.
I don't know where the middle is.
Well, you can just decide where your middle is.
I know it's right there.
All right, and then for your second color, grab a different color brush so you don't have any of that yellow going right into it.
Yes.
This is a very little paintbrush I've got here. I'm gonna actually swap that for something a little bigger. Whoop. So we're just gonna add some water right on top of that paint.
This is working with glue.
It will, just kind of get it on there and kind of wiggle those bristles into the edges a little bit.
And you don't want to leave that many marks.
Yeah.
Like on this one that I tried out, I left dot marks.
So you can do one color first and then go back and add your paint for the second color. Maybe that would help a little bit so it doesn't dry while we chit chat. You can also go back and add a little bit more of your color right to the edge while it's wet.
Yes.
So if you'd like to do that, you can show them an example of that.
So basically you just like go on the edge a little bit more and mix it up and you get a little bit more of the color.
Mm-hmm. And if you think you want to, here, something else we can do. I've got a coffee filter back here. If you get it too saturated and need more color, watch this. We're just gonna suck some of that water back up. Go ahead and add more of your teal and more water. I'm gonna work this one here real quick while my both sides are wet. Once both sides are wet, you want them to kind of marry in the middle. So you're just, yeah. So we're just gonna bring our water right down the center here and let them kind of do their thing. You can tilt your rock. I'm gonna bring it up closer. You can kind of tilt your rock back and forth a little bit to get that color kind of moving and meshing together, just like that.
And a green.
Is it coming together better for you over there? Just like that.
Better than the first one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, so.
And once your colors mix, try your best to keep that color in the center.
Mm-hmm.
And and like, it's okay to get it on your fingers. And you after you use the colors, you don't really need to mix it with your paint, with your brush. Once they just touch, they can mix.
See, and you can tilt that color in. See that color right there on the edge? If you can tilt it towards the center so it goes into the center. And then I'm just gonna set this right off to the side. Most likely it will not dry while we're live. You'll see that water will make it move, so make sure you find a flat surface, or if you have an uneven bottom of your rock, you can prop it up just so that it kind of sits on the top part of your rock while it dries. And you can kind of move it around as it dries. See this one we have over here? It's kind of puddled in the center, so you can actually tilt it once it dries a little bit to kind of bring that color out a little more towards the edge. So yes, you can always go back and add more paint. If when it dries you want more color, you can do that as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and start my second one here.
Wait, yeah, this is my yellow one.
I'm gonna do pink and yellow on this big one here.
I'm gonna do that one next.
Are you gonna do pink and yellow? Or do you wanna do pink and teal? Should we do pink and teal?
Pink and teal.
Okay.
Because I already did pink and yellow.
Okay, so this time for your pink and teal, why don't you do one color first and then go back and draw the line for your second color so it doesn't dry, okay? So I've got my pink I'm gonna do here first.
I'm gonna do this side, not pink.
All right. So that's it. We're gonna hop off here. So
Bye.
hold,
I have to go to school now.
You go ahead and get yourself ready to go back to school. Thanks for everybody that joined in live today. Thanks for sharing the thumbs ups and everything. Just so you know, she is 8 years old and she didn't even say her tagline, but if she can do it, you can do it. These are gonna make gorgeous kindness rocks once we come back. When we come back next week, we will finish these off. So Thursday next week, I'll be live again, and we will do some fun word rocks on top of these templates once they're nice and dry. I've got a few things sketched out. I always tell people, sketch on paper first. You know, if you're not sure what you want to do, I like to outline my rocks sometimes on sketch paper so I have a good size that I'm working with, so that you can gauge with your paint pen. Sometimes it's thicker than you might think it's going to be. So first we're going to start with a really simple heart style rock that I think is a really cute, fun design. We're going to do a heart style with this, and we're also going to do a word rock with this style. So I have washi tape here. You can get this at like every craft store. You could do this with painter's tape as long as you just cut it so that it's a thinner strip, because most painter's tape is pretty thick. And I'm just going to place this right on the center of my rock here. And then I'm going to create a heart. Now, when you do this style of rock, make sure I stay on screen here. When you do this style of rock, make sure that you don't bump into the edge of your tape. So we're going to kind of come off of our tape if we can. See, make sure you guys can see what I'm doing here. If the comments are in the way, you can swipe them to the side to get them out of your way for you. So we're going to come up off of here. You want to have the point of your heart above your tape. And see how I'm going to stop here and kind of connect it from down here. That way I'm not bumping into my tape. And then we're going to follow our lines and give a nice point down here at the bottom. Nice big heart. Okay. And then when we peel this up, there we go. We can come back here and write a very simple, either love or loved. You can do either way. I think I'm going to try to fit loved here. Again, I'm trying to kind of hold to the side. Sometimes my pen gets in the way, but just nice quick cursive. Just like that. You can add a little extra little something up there too. How fast and easy is that? Super quick. Got to get my L attached here. You could go back and thicken up a few of your lines, like the hand lettering style. If you ever do that, you've heard me say this 1,000 times if you follow the channel, your downward strokes are where you want to kind of thicken your line a little bit. But this is a pretty small rock, so I don't want it to get too muddied up. Just simple like that. How easy is that? Okay, so this is design 1, and we're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to thicken up my heart lines just a smidge up here, just because there are a couple lumps and bumps in here. It will make it look nicer. Okay, we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to do it as a word. This is a word rock, technically, a set of words. So we're going to take rock number 2 here. Same thing, washi tape. I'm going to do it slightly shifted downward on my stone. Now, if you're going to do this second one, I played around with a lot of different word combinations, and not all letters work the same with this. You want to be able to visually read what it says. So we're going to make a giant word B with capital letters. You want to make sure that the curve of your B and the middle of your E is above this line. So that will make more sense when you see it here. But again, we're going to come off of our tape up and down so that we can get our big part of our B. So you want to have the curve above the tape so that you can see that bottom part coming down like that. Same with your E line. You're going to want to have your E that middle line above, so that when you peel your tape, you can still see that it says the word B here. Now you can make these thicker. Just be careful when you're going up against the edge of your tape. You just don't want it to bleed under. So that's why I always pull away from the edge. It will help you with that a little bit. Okay. All right, I'll peel that back up. Okay, so see, with that word, you can still tell it says B, and then you can make these say lots of different things on the inside. You can have it say, what, BU, be bold, I don't know, I'm trying to think of other things off the top of my head, be unique, you know, whatever you want it to say. I think I'm gonna go with unique because that just sounds nice. So we're gonna do that, be unique. I like to do a cursive, but I mean, I know a lot of people do really fancy calligraphy when they do hand lettering. I am old school. I still do my cursive like they taught me back in grade school. So I'm just gonna go that style. You can do just standard letters in here as well. So I'm gonna go make sure I don't spell it wrong. Unique. There we go. Add a couple dots on either side. Be unique. So you can do these in so many word combinations. So we'll set those up here, up off to the side. We're gonna do a couple that are a little more simple. This one's gonna be very basic. I just really wanna show you, you see a lot of these word rocks, people do really fancy lettering. And while those are beautiful, they're kind of, I don't wanna say unobtainable, but intimidating maybe would be a better word to go with. So I'm just gonna do a really simple one here. We're gonna do tall, skinny letters here, nothing cursive. We're gonna do a rock that just says shine. We're gonna play with proportion here. We're gonna drop our bottom line really low on this one. Just do tall, skinny. So that means we can do our E real low like that. And we're literally just gonna go all the way on this side and all the way on this side. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have over here? I've got, this one's a nice big one. So we're gonna do one more with a hand letter. I'm gonna make it bigger so you can see what I'm talking about with the downstrokes for those that maybe don't follow the channel as much. I saw a couple people say it was their first time here. If it's your first time here, give it a thumbs up. I hope you are enjoying the video. So let's see here and get these out of the way. Make sure I'm in screen here. So we're gonna do a good vibes only rock. So we're gonna do the word vibes kind of big. We'll do that in the kind of cursive style. That way you can see what I'm talking about with these downstrokes, because if you do a bigger word, it's easier to see how that works. So I'm just gonna write it, like I said, my sort of standard cursive. I do tend to pick up my pen a couple times, but you'll see here. So we have I, come back down, P, you can add a little loops sometimes. There we go. E, and then S. All right. So I feel like the V needs some sort of fun curl of some sort. So we're gonna actually start here to the side. We're just gonna go ahead and add it, okay? So there's our little curl to our V. Make sure we dot our I now so I don't forget later. So now, any time that we're going down, that's what we're gonna thicken up. So we go up and around, right? And then this would be back down. So we're gonna come out to the side. And I always say this kind of helps sometimes if your handwriting isn't quite where you want it to be, because you can come back and thicken a line. And when you thicken a line, a lot of times you can fix little mistakes. So just like that, there's our V. I feel like I'm a little low here. You can just follow your lines along if you want to. Okay, so the I, you would go up, but then you come back down the same side, or the same, sorry. You go up here, but come back down, but on the right hand curl. So you don't want the whole thing to be thickened up, just the right hand side of that curl until you get down. There we go, and then we can kind of thicken our dot. Now our B, you'd go up and then back down on the back side here. So that one would be a little bit thicker. And then you go up and around, so you kind of come down over here. Okay, and then you go up and around, so the downstroke is the left hand side of this E. Okay, and then we would, make sure I'm still in here, up the S and then back down on the right hand side of this S. And then kind of float off into nowhere here. All right. Now, whenever I do my good vibes only, that's enough for me. That's enough pressure. I always tend to do, if I do a cursive word on a rock, it's usually just one. That way, if I get it right, I don't have to worry about trying to do another one and messing up the whole rock. So I'm just gonna do standard capital letters below here. You can do whatever you want on these. So, and then I'm gonna do the same thing up here with the word good without putting my hand. I should have done it first. I'm actually gonna come back and do that. I don't wanna put my hand right where I just wrote. So we're gonna come back and add the word good vibes only on that one. Okay, let's see here. Which way would I lean this? A lot of times I look, so when I place my rocks out, a lot of times they'll be leaning against the edge of something. So play around with how your rock seems like it's supposed to go. And this one's supposed to go like that to me. I have to do a standard You Rock Rock. Okay, so another fun little font that you can do, you've seen this one I'm sure, is when the left-hand side of your letter is wide. So I'm gonna do rock. So if you do an O, just make your O kind of wide, and that way you can come in and add that left-hand side. I'm gonna do the same thing with my C. I'm gonna make it really wide so that I can come in and add that in there. And then, okay. Just like that. And then I can thicken up my straight lines a little bit. And then we're going to just do little horizontal lines in each of these sections. There we go. Let's see. I'm just going to do it right here. Sorry, I'm kind of making these up as I go. I have a few little cheat sheets by me of ideas where I doodled out, but a lot of times I bounce around. So You Rock. I really love the base coat on this one. This one was I have like a maroon. I have to share with you if they're still, this is how messy my desk is. They're still right here from last week. It was this maroon Posca and this teal color. Gorgeous. I think my daughter did that one. All right, so let's go back here and add good before I forget. So I'm just gonna do, like I said, just regular capital letters. There we go, good vibes only. And because I just love to add little dots to things. Little dots can really just, I don't know, they're cheery to me. I'm gonna do a few down here off the tip of this too. Adding little dots here and there. I'll probably end up putting something on there. All right, I've got one more rock over here. We're running out of space. I'm trying to keep them so you guys can see them all. I know people kind of come and go through the video. Do you have a favorite so far? One that you know you're going to do? All right, one last rock here. I think I'm just gonna do a cute little Be Happy rock. It'll be a combination of two of these. So I'm gonna do happy with the really low dotted line. When I say that, so remember when you used to learn to write that dotted lines through the middle. So this is like if the dotted lines dropped down low. So our Be Happy would be H-A, like this, way down here. These really tall, oops, ran out of space. So kind of like that, if that makes sense. All right. All right, so we're gonna do Be Happy. So I'm gonna do just again, the little hand lettering style. B, try to hold to the side here so you can see. So happy, and then we'll do happy. Tall, skinny letters. There we go. So again, just a little thickness on this. It's kind of smaller, so I don't want to get muddied up here. There we go. Be happy. You know, I'm fighting it. I'm fighting putting some dots on here, guys. I'm gonna do it anyways. Because dots make me happy. Hopefully this inspires you to try some new things on your kindness rocks or my other rocks. Thank you to everybody that joined in live today or watched the replay. We really appreciate it, and I appreciate the thumbs up. So see how simple and easy they can be. And these base coats will really spread these videos out. The more people we have painting these rocks, the more kindness will be spread around, and we all need a little bit more of that, I think. So everybody have a wonderful day. I will be back next week with another live rock painting tutorial. Bye-bye.